This is the Baltimore Sports Pub. Here's Terry Ford, Brent Harris, and Alex Woodward.
Grab a drink, everybody. It's Friday on the Pub, October 16th. Today on the show, we give our predictions for Sunday's Ravens-Eagles game. Cheers, Brent. I see you. What's in there? What do you got in your cup?
Coffee.
Just coffee. Yeah, I'm rocking coffee too.
Forget what's in it. What the hell's on that mug? Did you steal your wife's mug there, Nancy?
Oh, were there flowers on there? Or the
It's
doves?
Cape Cod. It's
Oh,
Cape
okay.
Cod.
Those are anchors. Are those anchors?
Yep.
Okay. I thought they were flowers too. I thought they were flowers too, Alex. I was like, what?
It
What
matches
are you
his salmon
doing?
shorts.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah. Ready. If they would sponsor us, I would say it.
Oh,
There you go.
okay.
But until
I
they
see.
give money, screw them.
It's a big company. A lot of
That's
money
right.
over there.
That's right.
That's right. Hopefully we can, get a penny or two from them. Anyways, we'll give our predictions for Sunday's Ravens-Eagles game. What do the Ravens need to do to get the win? First, let's start with last night's drama in the ALCS. The Astros dropped the first 3 games of the series to the Rays, winning back-to-back now that they forced a Game 6. Last night, Carlos Correa, he hit a walk-off home run. Apparently, he called his shot before it was going to happen. He did his bat flip, his typical, antics. Terry Ford, are you like me, where your blood boiling, watching him rounding the bases, thinking they're this close to getting to the World Series? 2 more games.
I punched my TV. No. You know what? I'm not part of the Astro hate. They cheated. They got caught. The one thing about the Astros is when you get caught in life, when you get caught cheating, blatantly cheating, the best thing to do, whether you believe it inside of you or not, is just to step up and say, you know what? I cheated. Here's why I did. I'm sorry. I'll try to be a better person moving forward. The Astros have really done none of that. They've been like, screw you. They've been like this. The Astros just sit there like this.
They're so smug.
Well, that's the thing. And I think that's the biggest thing. Because the cheating, look, again, the Yankees did the Apple Watch stuff, the Red Sox, technology and cheating, it's going to keep happening. Someone else is going to do something. I don't care. Look, I live in the real grown-up world. Cheaters never win, winners never cheat is bull. We all know that. Some of the most successful people are cheating their ass off. But I'm more of the, and Brent, you and I talked about the other day, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. That's the reality of the world of professional sports and business, by the way, and politics. But my thing, the Astros, is just the attitude they bring off of just, look, man, just admit you cheated, say you're sorry, and move on. But they've never really done it. And that's what kind of makes me laugh about them. But then if they won the World Series, I really wouldn't care. I wouldn't one way or the other. Because, again, my hate goes to Mike Fiers. You guys know my Mike Fiers story. But the Astros, is just, if they would have been contrite and made it look believable, I think some of this would have gone away. But the idea, they just sit around going, and Carlos Correa last night, he looked at Dusty Baker, either I'm going to end it, I'm going to walk it off, whatever he said to him. He went up there and did it. He crushed that damn thing too. Oh my God. Hey, the Rays better not screw around.
Yeah.
Get it done in Game 6 and get it over with. The last thing you want is a Game 7.
Yeah. Only one other team's done it. That came down from 3-0
Red Sox.
and won. It was 0-4 Red Sox.
I know.
Hope they don't do that, because they're the ultimate villain.
You know what? You know how the Rays can win this thing? Have Clayton Kershaw pitch for the Astros. That'll take care of it. Astros will be done.
Deny. That's what you do. Deny.
Crazy.
No denying that home run either. He got all of that one. Correa just crushed it. By the way, you guys know this. My wife's from St. Pete, so these fans in the house, and there were a few tears shed last night. At least it was with a 3-1 lead in the series, right? So now 3-2, got 2 more shots at it. But you kind of felt like going into that at-bat, right? Brian Anderson, the play-by-play guy, was talking about, boy, if Correa gets a hold of one, he's going to see a bat flip like you've never seen before. It almost built to that moment. And we've seen that a couple of times in this series. But that's what makes this series great, is that they have gone back and forth a little bit. And so the other part, by the way, that I really like, they're playing every day because there's no travel. I love that they're right back on the field tonight. And that's a real thing, because if you lose a game like that and then you've got a travel day and it has to sit around and fester a little bit, that can be tough. I think the best thing for the Rays is getting back on the field.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you play every day during the season anyway.
Right.
So
Well,
why
you know the
not take
thing
the
too,
playoffs?
guys, is you can't really mess with your pitching staff too much because you don't have the off days or the travel days. So I mean, there's no figuring out your pitching staff with days of rest. You're just bam, 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 and that kind of brings strategy into play there. So it's kind of interesting.
I didn't think I cared that much about the Astros advancing until last night. I was on the phone with my girlfriend watching the game, and he hits the home run, and I scream out a couple expletives, and she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "The Astros just won." And she's like, "So?" And I was like, "They're cheaters." And she apparently had no idea about what was going on. So I had to explain all the drama with the cheating, and as I'm explaining it, I'm getting more and more angry, and I'm watching Carlos Correa on TV, and he's smiling, and he's talking about, "Oh, I called my shot." And I just found myself so angry because I feel cheated as a baseball fan this season because Lunau and Hinch, they got fired and they got suspended one full season. Well, it's not really a full season because it was a 60-game season, but it still counts. And the players got immunity, so they didn't face any true discipline. We didn't have fans in the crowd, really. So they didn't even get to get, heckled and razzed and people banging trash cans at them or bringing symbols or whatever the hell people were going to do. They didn't get the signs that we would have loved to see, all the ridiculous angry signs towards the fans. We got a taste of it in spring training, but I feel cheated not being able to see that in the regular season. There are fans in the stands now in the playoffs, but you're not going to see those kind of antics by now. I just feel like if they advance, I don't think I've ever hated a team more where they're not only did they cheat, they cheated even more as the season went on. So the further they got in the playoffs, the more they cheated, which makes it even worse. They never really owned up to it, like you said, Terry. The GM and the coach are the scapegoats, so they're gone. And now here they are. They're 2 wins away from a World Series appearance. And if they win this year, they're going to say, well, now what? We didn't need to cheat to win. Yes, you did. You cheated more when you got into the playoffs. Anyways, I'm getting hot.
I know,
here.
you're right. Alex is starting to sweat. You know what it is? And Alex is a great example of this, Brent. I think that people want just to see them pay. Yep. I mean, the thought isn't, again, I don't hate the Astros. I could care less. I hate my neighbor who at 8:30 on a Saturday morning is mowing his lawn. I'm going to go beat the hell out of him. That's where my hate goes. No, the thing with the Astros is the feeling is they didn't pay for it, right? The players really didn't pay. Because one thing I totally disagree with this thing is the players should have been suspended. You can't sit here and tell me, well, we really don't know. We gave them immunity. Well, you know what? Then that's on you. You had to you gave them immunity, so they didn't pay. They didn't get any kind of punishment. I think that's what really bothers people, and it's got our boy Alex all crazy.
At least let the fans heckle them. That's all.
And they got off scot-free. Like you said, the fans didn't have garbage cans. They didn't get booed, spit at, heckled, yelled at, had beer bottles thrown at them. They didn't get suspended. They didn't get fined. Those guys basically, and they did cheat, and they got over. They got World Series rings. They got World Series money. They got a parade. None of them ever had to pay for anything, Brent. And I think that's what bothers people.
All I know is the ball and the bat flip from last night have yet to land. That's all I know. On to the next game, and the Rays have to get that composure, right? They got to get the composure, and they've got to end this thing.
They better, because Game 7.
You don't want that.
I think if it gets to 7, the Astros win Game 7. I think the Rays have to win Game 6. The last thing you want is that Astro train with the momentum of 3 straight wins. Yeah. You don't want that.
Our big story, the Ravens are in Philly this Sunday to take on the 1-3-1 Eagles. Brent Harris, Baltimore is fresh off a dominant defensive performance. What are your expectations for this Sunday?
I expect this Ravens offense to figure it out. I expect this Ravens offense to run the football. I think Mark Ingram will be a workhorse. I think they're going to give him the football early and often in this game. Obviously, the Eagles' defense, middle of the road. We're looking at the Ravens' defense shutting down the Eagles, right? The Ravens this year, 47 quarterback hits, which is second in the NFL. Carson Wentz has been sacked 19 times. We know the 9 picks to 6 touchdowns. They turned it over. I think that side of the football is already sort of figured out, right? That's what we expect out of this game. But from the offensive standpoint, I want to see this Ravens offense get back to running the football. The Ravens this year, by the way, 3-0 when they run more than they pass. The only exception was the Bengals, and the Bengals stink, and they had a huge lead, and so it really didn't matter. And the Ravens defense ended up scoring in that game. I hope and I expect the Ravens to get back to something that we saw in the past, right? A run game first, and then start opening up the offense with some passes downfield to Brown, Andrews. Maybe we'll see Duvernay. Maybe Boykin steps in this week. I think it'll be another easy win. I got 34-13. I think the spread is only 7.5. So
Yep.
I think they easily cover that. And, I think the Ravens get back into scoring in the 30s and look impressive on offense.
Road favorite-wise, since Lamar has been the quarterback, they tear it up as road favorites. And they win. I mean, the only way the Ravens lose is they turn the rock over 4 or 5 times. That's the only way they lose this game. And that's really the Eagles' MO, turning the ball over a lot. I think I'm with you, Brent. I think the Raven defense stifles the Eagle offense. The offensive line is a mess with injuries. The receiving core has been beat up all year. Zach Ertz is on a milk carton. They can run the ball well with Miles Sanders, but it's just their offense is just sputtering. Wentz leads the league in picks. I think the defense shuts them down. And the flip side is, saw an interesting stat today. The Eagles defensively give up a ton of plays to opposing tight ends. Ravens have a decent tight end, I think. I think they have a guy that's pretty good.
Pretty good.
So maybe Mark Andrews has himself a big day. And I'll say this. I'm with you, Brent. I've been wanting to see them get the running game consistently going from quarter 1 to quarter 4. It would be really nice. And we were talking about this yesterday. It might have been off the air. Well, all these national pundits, the Ravens are just working on the passing game right now. They know what they got in the run game. They're just working on that passing game. They know they're going to need that passing game in January. Maybe that's what they're doing. Last year, they ran the ball 56% of the time. This year, it's like 49 to 50%. Maybe they're trying to hone in that passing game for January. Okay, whatever. All I know is this. Sunday, I want to see a productive, proficient offense that's consistent from quarter 1 to quarter 4. Don't play one good quarter and 3 crappy ones. Don't play one good half and one bad half. Give us a productive 4-quarter game from the offense. That's what I would like to see. I'd like to see some Devin Duvernay would be nice. That would be good. I would just like to see them, whatever running back it's going to be, give somebody a chance to get lathered up and kind of get rolling. I'm going 31-18. Ravens get the win over the Eagles. In a game, it's not going to be that close. It's just not. Ravens have turned the ball over to lose, fellas. Let's just be honest. Come on. That's just the way it feels.
I'm with you guys. It's the Ravens all the way. 18 straight games with the turnover. They're going to make it 19 straight. Carson
Yes.
Wentz just can't keep the ball in that offense's hands. Lane Johnson might miss the game, one of their best offensive players, or offensive linemen. They've got a bunch of injuries already to their offensive line. I'm expecting a lot of blitzes from Wink. You saw it last week. 5 different DBs had a sack. I'm guessing they're probably going for that again. The way you contain Carson Wentz is make him uncomfortable and keep him inside that pocket, because when he breaks out, he's kind of like a young Big Ben when he's accurate and can throw the ball and not turn it over. But he is athletic, so you want to kind of get him on the run and get him running towards pressure. Miles Sanders concerns me a little bit. I think you'll see a lot of Patrick Queen matched up against him. That's really the only threat on the Eagles' offense. I mean, Zach Ertz, like you said, he's on a milk carton right now. I mean, where has he been? Greg Ward is one of their top receivers. Some guy, Travis Fulgham.
Ready. Greg Ward was a quarterback at the University of Houston. Now he's one of the go-to receivers for the Eagles because everybody's hurt.
So it's not the offense of the Eagles that really scares you. We all expect a defensive domination, essentially. But on offense, I am a little bit worried about Marquise Brown just because of the Darius Slay matchup. Slay is one of the best cornerbacks in the league right now. He's been shutting people down. McLaurin was held to 31 yards last week on 4 catches. Hollywood struggles when people get physical against him. So I think we'll see a lot of Mark Andrews. Regardless, I'm hoping, like you said, we get a running game going. The most carries for a running back that a Raven has had this year is 11, and it was last week with Mark Ingram. It's got to be more. It doesn't matter if it's Ingram, Dobbins, Edwards, even Lamar Jackson, whatever. I mean, just get that run game going. So I'm going to say 28-17, a little bit lower scoring than your picks, but I think the defense gets those turnovers and they get some short fields and turn them into 6.
Yeah, and look, guys, we're talking about this offense. It's October. It's a long way to go. And they are 4-1. Yeah, that's the funny part here, right? They're 4-1. I mean, we have legitimate concerns. I think everything we're talking about is legit. I don't think we're being nitpicky. I think what we're saying is like we see it. Everyone sees it. But at the end of the day, they are 4-1. Again, they're smacking around a lot of bad teams. The one good team they played housed them at their place. So the tests are coming. But they are 4-1. They've beat the teams you're supposed to beat, right? They're pretty good at that so far.
Feed the beast. Feed the beast on Sunday. Feed the running game.
So the trade deadline's coming up in a couple of weeks. Real quick, do you guys see them making any moves before that deadline? Obviously, they saw they needed help on defense. They traded for Marcus Peters, and that really catapulted them towards the playoffs. Do you see a move similar to that this year? Maybe a wide receiver, maybe an offensive lineman?
I got a move. I got a move for Terry. Terry knows the move.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah, AB. Come on. We're almost, and I was kind of counting it down. Week 8 is the Steelers game, so I think you'd have to wait till the week after. It would have been nice if it kind of coincided there, but why not AB? Why not?
You know what? Why not bring a guy in who is locker room poison, who is late to meetings, who misses meetings, who's bipolar, who one minute is happy, the next minute's throwing stuff all over the place. Let's add that guy to a team coming up a 14-2 season. A guy, by the way, over 30 years old, and usually that's when receivers' careers start going to die. Let's bring that guy into the mix in the middle of the season.
I bet he can still play.
That's a great idea.
I bet he can still play.
I tell you what.
Greatness is hard to figure out, Terry. Greatness is hard to figure out.
He's run himself out of 3 organizations, Brent.
Whatever.
In 1 year.
Ready? Forget the past. No, don't worry about it. He's run himself out of 3
We're
organizations.
here to talk about the future, not the past.
That's right.
Thank you, Belichick.
We're here to talk about now. So see how I can poison a 4th team. By the way, when the guy is like on double secret probation, he beats up a moving van dude. He's already here. That's my thing. When I get life, and I get you think you're bulletproof and you're a diva and you're great and wonderful. Everybody's got to kiss your ass, and that was basically Antonio Brown. But once you start falling, and once you realize that, guess what? The NFL can go on without you. Don't you check yourself and not beat up moving van drivers or not, go after women on Twitter, or not Twitter, but texting. Don't you check yourself and say, wait a minute, I got to chill. I got to get my ego in check. Either Antonio Brown has the biggest ego ever, or he's got the biggest mental illness ever. But either one, I will pass.
Maybe he is at that point right now, Terry. You're not giving him the benefit of the doubt. And if he steps in and in week 9 or 10 pulls in a couple of touchdowns and helps open up this offense, you, my friend, would be changing.
I've said this.
Team.
No, I wouldn't. I've said this before. I'd rather have him dig up James Brown. No, thank you. No, thank you.